Hey there, I am so glad you're here. Come on in and enjoy Coffee Chat at the Cubbyhole. Okay, you might be thinking, coffee sounds fun, but girl, what is the Cubbyhole? The Cubbyhole was a divine little nudge on my heart, if you will, to build this space in our basement, in our home, where our friends and family could come and receive encouragement and love. And that's exactly what we've been doing. I've always known that the Cubbyhole would have a ripple effect out into the world, that it could bring encouragement and hope, not just to people that could visit here in person. That is exactly why I do Coffee Chats. I get to take some of the coolest people that are just like you and just like me, who have skill and talent, but most importantly, they have a vulnerable, relatable story that we can all glean some hope and encouragement from. So grab a coffee, cozy up, and enjoy Coffee Chats at the Cubbyhole.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Chats at the Cubbyhole. Today, I am not in the Cubbyhole. I'm actually trying to fix my hat. Oh my gosh, I didn't even look at myself before I came. There we go. Today, I am not in the Cubbyhole. I am in the darndest place. But I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. But actually, today, the Cubbyhole Coffee Chat was postponed. If you remember, if you saw it, I put a notice out that today was my coffee chat with my beautiful friend, Tara Olette. I was so looking forward to having her on, and I had to postpone it because of some circumstances that came up. That's what I mentioned. So we're going to postpone. I don't know when, but I hope that it's soon because she is my precious friend. And she's been, we've been chatting all week and she's been making me laugh. And she is definitely, we're gonna reschedule, but I had to postpone. So what I'm gonna do today though, I wasn't planning on being on here at all. I wasn't, not at all, but I wanted to come on because today is Friday and I realized that I can pop on here and do a bit of an abbreviated show today. And I'll tell you more. I'm going to tell you a few stories along the way. And I'm trying to think of what I want to say next. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't have, crazy notes planned. I don't have a flow to today. I just want to talk to you straight from my heart. So I guess that's all that I can do. So I wanted to come on because I love Fridays. I love coffee chats with all of you. And if there was any way, God willing, possible, that's what I said earlier in the week that I would. The reason that I can't, and this coffee chat is not about me. Today's topic is people pleasing. And we're going to dive into that topic. But the reason that this topic is so important to me is because something happened earlier in the week. I am actually in the hospital. I know, right? It's funny. So what happened was I feel so good right now. I am feeling so good, and I think I get to go home tomorrow. I've been here the better part of the week. But I want to tell you a little bit about what happened without, all the details, but it leads into the topic today of people pleasing. And I just decided last night, like I said, God willing, if I could be on here, and last night in the middle of the night, that's when I just feel all my clarification. And I was just chatting with God, and it was like, you know what? Tell the story about what's going on and why this could have been so much different. And I know some of you are gonna relate with this, so I'm gonna share it, and I'm gonna not be on here very long. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm in the hospital because last week, starting Sunday, I was having pain, lots of pain in my stomach. And then Monday came along, I was doing some painting and I had more pain. And then by Tuesday, I thought I'm going to call my doctor, who is amazing. And had a couple of ideas. He had a couple of ideas of what was going on. And so, excuse me, this is part of the issue. Now I'm burping. Look. This is real. This is real talk. This is just it. This is life. And so he gave me some medication, but gave me a plan. Okay, his plan is based on what he thought this was. Do not hesitate to go to the hospital if you feel A, B, and C. What did I do? Hesitated. I totally hesitated. I took the medication, but then I started to feel really bad in the evening. But I hesitated a little bit. I was watching The Chosen. I was laying in bed watching The Chosen. I was so cozy. And then I started to hesitate. I got in and out of bed. I packed a bag, got in and out of bed 3 times because I just didn't want to go. And the reason I didn't want to go, I've been processing while I've been here in the hospital. I've been processing why I didn't want to come in, and that involves people pleasing. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I want to go back to why I decided to do this coffee chat today. 2 main reasons. One, I love you guys so much. I say that all the time. I do. Like, some of you I've never even met, but I have so much love in my heart for all of you, for every person I meet, and any person I don't meet. I just have love. And that love was overflowing into the idea of, if this coffee chat, with what God put on my heart last night to share, if this coffee chat can save somebody's life, literally, or figuratively, then it was all worth it. So the reason I say literally, and I'm gonna just touch on my situation a little bit without details, is I decided to come in to the hospital, although I did hesitate, even though my wonderful doctor said not to. I hesitated. And I'm so glad that I did eventually come in. But today's topic is about the undertone, the undercurrent of why I hesitated. But when I came in, I realized I did the right thing based on some tests and the information that the doctors gave me. It was so glad. I was glad, they were glad that I came, because a lot of people that have what I have going on, I have a very, I'm very fortunate to have a very micro version of what's going on with me. But there are people that wait a long time and they don't go in, and it can be fatal. And so my hesitation might have eventually cost me my life. And people in the situation, it did cost them their life. And I wonder, you wonder why. You wonder why. But we'll get into that. But I am so thankful that I did. The doctors were saying, good thing you did. So I am so glad that I'm here. So all that is the part of my story that I want to share, just in minor detail. But the point is this. Okay, we all have stories in our life, and that's what I talk about all the time on the show, is we have stories and situations and circumstances in our life that we then internalize, and then we create beliefs, and then our actions. I tell you guys, this is the perfect example. The pivotal moments in our life then create the identity of who we are, and then those identities create the action that we either take or that we don't take. And in my case, I almost didn't take action to come to the hospital. And so that's where, so when I was thinking all week about why did you almost not go? The reason I almost did not come into the hospital is because of people pleasing. And you know what? I don't necessarily meet people. Like, sometimes when we go into the hospital, I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what if I go in and it's nothing? I'm going to feel so stupid. Why did I go in? You know, it's so stupid. Like, we're going to beat ourselves up. And so we start people pleasing right there, people pleasing of other people, external people. But what I'm really here to talk about today is internal people, the internal peoples of us. Not that we have multiple personalities, but maybe we do. You know why? Not multi personalities like a maybe a schizophrenic or a psychotic situation, but we have. Remember last week, if you saw the show, I had Christy Condor on. She was talking about how she went to a therapist and she was processing a lot of things. And her therapist said to her, you have a committee in your head. And the committee are all the thoughts in your head, the people, the situations, the different opinions in your head leading you. And I've always referred that to my advisory group. And I refer it with clients. It's called the advisory group. And sometimes that advisory group is unsolicited. So there was something in my head. There was a version of us. There's a version of us, many, many versions of us that can drive our bus, drive the train, send us on the trajectories in our life that are either positive or negative, that either catapult us into greatness, or they paralyze us. And the maybe it was like the warrior. Okay, let me take a step back. There's a scientist called Carl Jung. He did work on archetypes and sub-archetypes. And I actually have a woman in my life. Her name is Crystal Morse. Work on this, on archetypes and sub-archetypes. And those archetypes are sometimes what makes our decisions for us. So there's a lot of research in this. And in the sub-archetype categories, there's the archetypes, as Carl Jung talks about, are like the mother, or the adult, the child, and the parent. Okay, so we act in one of those, but the sub-archetypes are really what tells the story. The sub-archetypes are like the warrior in you, the people pleaser in you, the person that just is a workaholic, the person that's always maybe victimized. There's so many sub-archetypes, and they're fascinating. And I put all that into some of my trainings, because it is fascinating work when we can peg, oh, I do that, or I do that. So we're not like multiple personalities. We just have different sub-archetypes that drive our bus. And so one of my sub-archetypes, I realized, could have cost me some damage, because the people-pleasing version of me, it wasn't about external people. It was about the people, the sub-archetypes in my head that said, don't go in. Don't go in. Like you talk about the little voices on your shoulder, don't go in. How stupid. You've got a bloated stomach. You've got the stomach flu. Don't go in. You're just going to look stupid. You're going to go there and they're going to be like, there's nothing wrong with you. Here's what I talk about a lot. Stories. We all tell stories. My husband knows that I talk about this so much that sometimes I'll be saying something. He's like, are you telling a story to yourself? And then I say same thing to him. Are you telling a story? Because we beat ourselves up. So the stories I was telling myself is that you're just stupid. They're going to send you away. They're going to be like, who is that? And then I actually picture in my mind. Do you guys ever do this? Like that, they're like, what was she in for? Like, what is she? Maybe she had, just a bloated stomach. Maybe she ate the wrong food. I mean, why is she in here? And so but I'm here to say, and this is why I love the work that I do, is I help people get beyond these situations. But I had to do that work for myself. So I hesitated, but I didn't hesitate very long. Thank you, Jesus. I did not hesitate very long. And I came in, and the reason I didn't hesitate is I started to do that work. Why are you not going in? What version of you? What is telling you not to go? Why would you hesitate? So I went in. So people pleasing, the definition of people pleasing is someone who tries to please others. And in this case, we're talking about our advisory council. And they will go out of their way to please others, even if it robs them of their own valuable time or resources. And today I'm talking about the resources portion of what I almost did. I almost robbed myself of the availability of going to a hospital because of my people pleasing. So do you people please? So these shows are about you. It's about you finding yourself in the story that I'm telling. So do you people please? Do you have to do for yourself? So that's the story, and that's the situation, and those are the things that can go wrong. But now what do? You can journal out ways that you people please. How do you people please? You can start to write out the different versions of your advisory council, right? I highly recommend to get excuse me, it's all working itself out. This is a good thing. But I highly recommend to write down advisory council or advisory group and start writing out who are what are the thoughts that go through your mind? What are the versions of you? Maybe it's a little girl version of you or a little young boy version of you that's told, don't do that. Don't make a scene. Don't do that because you're just going to look stupid. I can save all that for a different day because I talk about this in a lot of the resources that I offer. We can dive into more thoroughly. But who is your advisory council? What are the times that you can look back and go, there is an advisory group telling me things, and they steered me the wrong way. Or write down, do you people please? Do you people please? Do you do things for others? Do you border on a codependent relationship because you're not happy until everybody else is happy? And maybe you're not even taking care of yourself. Well, what I wanted to pop on today is to say, first of all, if you're a people pleaser, you're not alone. If you go on my website what is my website? marloretz.com. You'll see there's an about me section in it. It talks about how I used to be an addict. And if you read that, see if you see yourself in that. I used to be addicted, not to a substance. Starting at a very young age, I started to become addicted to worry, doubt, fear, guilt, and people pleasing. And how do you know you are addicted to those things? It's because when you go to do something, maybe what other people think matters more. Maybe when you're going toward a solution, maybe the guilt overrides it or the worry overrides it. You're addicted to going back to the pivotal moments we talk about all the time and believing that the story there was true. In those moments, you can identify that you're an addict of all those things because you feel like your story is already written and you can't go rewrite your story. That's not true. That's the definition of an addict of all of those things. I am here to tell you, I genuinely care about every single one of you. If there's something that is robbing you of ways to free yourself of that are ultimately paralyzing you instead of uh, propelling you, that's the word, propelling you into greatness, or even propelling you to get in the car and go to the hospital, or propelling you to just say no, or propelling you to do whatever. Sometimes we are paralyzed. For a few minutes there, I had to go to my own little recovery group and say, what are you doing? Why don't you really want to go to the hospital? And I was then propelled instead of paralyzed. So I wanted to share all this with you today because I do care so much. Um, I I could with this, I could literally or figuratively help save a life. Because first of all, what I want to say about literally is if you have stomach pain, of course, I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. I don't. Closest thing I am to a doctor is I've been listening to a lot of wonderful doctors all week. I feel like I'm an expert on this topic. But if you like, just say, for example, you have stomach pain. Mine was on the lower left. If you Google it, it'll probably tell you what, but I had a little tear that was not, a little teeny perforation that was not good. And that could have been really bad if I had waited. And so the reason I say that is, um, I'm like, oh, it's an ovary. It's just, I put a heating pad on it. I'm fine. It could have been really, really bad. So, there's stomach flus and there's things like that, but don't ignore something. I knew my body. I'm like, oh, girl, this is not right. There's something really wrong. I was painting a room. I love to decorate in my free time. I was doing fun, decorating. And I handed a paintbrush to my daughter and I said, can you please finish this? Because I went to bed like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, literally and then the next day I was out of commission and I'm like, this is not right. So if you have pain in your stomach, I just wanted to say this to you because the way the doctors explained it to me is this could have gone really wrong. And if that can help one of you, that if you have something going on with your stomach, and it's not right, get it checked out. Get it checked out sooner than later. Who cares what people think? Who cares if they go in and all you leave with is you know, maybe some tongue depressors that nobody seemed to be using and you thought you would just borrow for a bookmark or something. So do that. And then figuratively, well, this is also literally and also figuratively, but saving a life, your mindset, our mindset, that's what I'm all about. That's the work I do. The work I do in coaching and speaking is all about our stories and our mindset and how we can shift those stories for good things, but sometimes they rob us. And you know what? There is a chance your story could rob you of your life. I learned that this week. I learned that this week. I am so, so thankful. So, so thankful. Let me see. I don't even know. I don't do coffee chats on here very often. So, and I don't even have my glasses on. I do not have my glasses on. So I'm going to put these. And you know what? I was hurting so bad. I'm going to have coffee. Cheers. Ding. Coffee chat at the cubbyhole today is not with my cubbyhole cup. It's with a styrofoam cup. It's all okay. But anyway, I was in so much pain. I packed a bag. I packed my husband's readers. So hang with me, guys. These are not my glasses. But what are you all saying on here? I can't see if it says Facebook user. Just lots of comments saying hey. And yes, Amy Wing. I am for sure a people pleaser. Um, oh, thank you, Anne. I appreciate that. I happen to have my eyelashes on because Tuesday, when I was feeling really junky, I'm like, I'm not going to light the world on fire. I'm not going to do big things today. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch a YouTube episode of something, and I'm just going to do my eyelashes. And thank you, Jesus. No, I don't care. I don't care if I was in here without my eyelashes. So you're just keeping it real. But I happened to put them on. I was like, oh, bonus, bonus. Got the IV, got the lashes. What? So girl, you are doing the same work on your show. Find June Colson on her show. And Gail Cooper, I love you too. So thank you so much, you guys. It's, you know what? And it's nice to be here. I wish I could see all of your faces because you know what? Um, there's no visitors. There are no visitors in the hospital. So, you find ways to entertain yourself. I'm joking and laughing right now. The first part of the week, I was not laughing, but I feel so good now. And I think I get to go home tomorrow. I'm really excited. But when I told one of the doctors that I have a show I do on Fridays, I was down in the ER and he's like, I don't see how that's possible. You can't do that. Um, so, but today I do feel good. So I wanted to postpone the one with Tara, but I told myself if I feel it, then I would. And I do. So I'm so excited. But it's anyway. Nobody. My daughters came and they pulled up by a window yesterday and they waved at me, and it was awesome. But I feel like Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway. I'm like, if I had a volleyball right now, it would be my best friend. I know exactly how many floor tiles are on the floor because I had nothing better to do than count them. Totally different set of numbers in the bathroom because they're smaller tile. That's what I did. That's what I've been doing to entertain myself. Oh my gosh. You start to, and you know what? I will share, you know what I have? I get to eat pudding today. Today is big news. I get to eat pudding and I get to eat oatmeal. Send in the marching. But you guys, I love this show. I love you all. And I'm so glad that I got to just stop in and just be here for a little while. But you know what? This is always, always about you. Who is your unsolicited advisory group? And it is real because we feel like we're walking alone. And this show is very, very faith-based as well. I always say, if you're not a believer, you are welcome here also. But I am a firm believer in the power of Jesus. And I know that all of my direction and my healing really comes from Him. All of the glory of anything, of any discovery, the clarity of what to do, or the changes to make in my life or the ways to help other people. It all comes from Him. It doesn't come from anything formal with Him. It comes from relationship with Him and surrendering to Him. Have you seen The Chosen? That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing when I was hesitating a little bit. I was watching it. Boy, there are some powerful scenes in there. There's some powerful scenes in there, but I just want to talk about the healing power of Jesus. And you know what? It's interesting because you guys, I have an actual cubbyhole show coming up this Saturday. Oh, by the way, yes, this Saturday, April 24th, there is a comedy show coming up at the Cubbyhole. There's 3 comedians that are going to be there, and it's mostly a virtual show. So I will put the Zoom link here in the comments, and you can join us. But it's really funny because in the beginning of last week, I was like, my husband was out of town. He's on his way home now because I told him stay. There's nothing you can do. I can't have any visitors, and I've been talking with him the whole time. But he was gone, and I was like, let's get it done. I'm painting. I'm doing stuff. I'm going to be working on the cubbyhole. Everybody was out of my way. Out of my way. But I just free schedule to do what I needed to do, and I'm like, I had an agenda. Let's get it done. Let's go. Like, let's get it done. And God had a different plan. And I was thinking, I was downstairs in the ER going, God, I don't get it. I serve you with the cubbyhole. Why am I laying in an emergency room and now they're telling me that I'm going to have to stay for a while? I had so much to do. Don't you understand? I have people staying with me. I've got to go grocery shopping. I've got kids to take to sport. I've got laundry. I've got comedy to write. I've got a room to paint. My dog needs me. My kids need me. And then just this peaceful notion came over me as I was sitting here because of the discoveries that came along, just being in this hospital and being alone, were greater than any eggshell paint I could have put on my wall. The people that are coming to stay with me, they care about me. They don't mind self-serving themselves. They don't mind sleeping in a room that has spackle on it, maybe. I don't even know what that room looks like. There's painting supplies everywhere, but they love me and I love them. And that's what matters. We do. You've heard me talk about do. Well, I have not so much about that as I have this week. Let me tell you. That's the real do, or lack thereof. But the real do is we get caught up in our identity of who we are by what we do. And all we have to do is be. And that's what Jesus reminded me of. That's what, it's physical IV. He was sending an IV of that sort of those fluids into my body, just saying, you're fine. You're enough. Sit down. You've got some work you need to do on your body. Probably because I've been ignoring it for a while and doing. And I realize now all that was going on with my body, I was probably ignoring things. I talked to a doctor today and I'm like, oh, that's why my body was doing this. And that's why my body was doing that. I didn't know about that. And so we do. And it literally can cost us our life. We're not that important. I love you, but we are not that important. We're not. Nothing I do is ever going to be important enough for something to cost me my life, literally or figuratively. Literally, I'm not that important at my house where I can't go into the hospital. And I am not that important where I have to do things in order to be loved and worthy. That's what Tara and I were going to talk about today. And we are going to talk about that. Tara, girl, I love you. We've been cracking up this week about some of my situations, okay? Maybe I'll write comedy about it sometime, but not today. But we were talking Our topic for today was, do you ever just get caught up in your identity, in your title? And we can do that, and that's another form of people pleasing. Again, the warrior in our head, the warrior sub-archetype that says, you need to do, look at it, that warrior is like, look at me. You need to do, or you're not going to be worthy, okay? The way that you're going to be worthy is you're going to show people how important you are. You're going to show people how much you do. As a matter of fact, then you're going to go, and when you casually bump into a friend, you're going to tell them how busy you are and all the list of things you have to do. Because that warrior or whatever sub-archetype is talking to you is like, oh, now you're important. We could easily sit in an ER room, in a dark room, like, I can't sit here. I've got things to do. We don't have anything to do. It's more important than taking care of our health and submitting to something outside of ourselves that is going to remind us that we are enough. You, I want to put the we aside. You, I want to talk directly to you, one individual. Right now, you are enough. All you have to do is be. Are you people pleasing? Are you running yourself in the ground? Are you telling yourself that pain you're feeling, it's not a big deal? You are loved, and you are needed, and you are worth it. Yes, Gail Cooper, bags of dill chips. That's all they need. Now you've made me hungry. How funny. Oh my gosh, Gail Cooper, you just said, I'm surprised you didn't redecorate your room. My daughter called me today. I called her, we were chatting, and she's like, what is that noise? And I'm like, I'm just moving a chair. There was one of those little porta potties, and it was in my way. It was over there. I'm like, it's got to be moved. You come up with some stuff to do when you can't have visitors, I tell you. So, Gail, thank you very much. I did redecorate the room just a little bit. So anyway, that's all. I can finally, so I would love to share my oatmeal with you if you would like that. Oh, I hadn't eaten since Monday, and oatmeal is so good. Okay, I'm gonna go, but cheers to you all. Cling, cling. Coffee chats from the kind of cubby hole. It's really coffee. It's not. It's coffee cubby hole. It can't be coffee chat at the cubby hole. It's not. But it's more about the little teeny tummy hole that I have. But it's all good. You know what? I am so thankful. If you are a healthcare provider, come on. I love you to pieces. These people are amazing. I mean, literally, they can have your life in their hands and they know what they're doing. So if you are a healthcare professional, I would say hats off to you. But girl, you don't want to see what's going on under here. Or y'all. I know there's guys that watch. Anywho, I'm gonna go eat my cream of chicken soup. I can't wait. And I think I get to break out tomorrow. I'm so excited, but love to you all. And you know what? Oh, next Friday, I'm gonna be live in the cubbyhole. Please, Jesus, please. But if not, I know you've got something for me. I know there's another thing I need to see. But next week I'm in the cubbyhole with Robert G. Lee. Is going to be here from Los Angeles, and he's going to be my first live guest. I had my hubby, David, on with me, but he was the co-host. Robert G. Lee is going to be my first live guest, and I'm going to be rescheduling the coffee chat with Tara very soon because you guys, that conversation is going to be powerful. The road that she has walked in finding her true identity is amazing. It's going to be powerful beyond powerful. And if you watch Barn 45, you know she's one of the two on Barn 45 live at 8 a.m. Find them on Barn 45. If you need Bible study, Barn 45 on Facebook, go there and you'll see Joy Lee and Tara Olette, friends. I just love them to pieces. And they do deep Bible study every day. But she was going to be my guest today, and we were going to reschedule. So I love you all. I love you to pieces. Mwah. Thank you to so many that have helped out and sent love. And by the way, you don't have to worry. I know you don't have to send notes. I am totally fine. Don't worry, and all is good. And this was an amazing experience, life changing, life altering, trajectory shifting once again. That's all we can do. I talk about it a lot, that all we need to do is do little bits. But you know what? I just can't get up. Look, I don't have visitors. Okay, so just hang with me, okay, because I get to talk with you bit by bit. And here's another analogy: the diet that they put me on. No food, none. I mean, an ice chip was sending me in the wrong direction. One ice chip, and then clear liquids, and now I get to have some oatmeal. So that's what I say about the way we do our life. Do it in little stages, bit by bit, just a little bit. I mean, that's why we should eat our meals. Little meals, they say. Do little meals of healing in your life, little meals of discovery, just little. You don't want to blow out your intestines of life. You don't want to just overload yourself too much. So bit by bit. Okay. Mwah, 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 mwah. I think the food people are coming up here, and I don't want to miss them because I get to order some good stuff today. I get to eat mashed potatoes today. That's right. And I don't want to miss them if they knock on the door. So I love you all. Thank you all so much for the love. And I'll see you next week. And if you want to come to the virtual comedy show, I'll put the link. It's a Zoom link, and I'll put it in the comments. Okay, love to you all. Bye, everybody. Oh, I'm going to leave you with this picture. Hold on. Oh, sorry. I just can't leave. No, this is for real. My Facebook memories popped up today. And it was right when the pandemic was starting and everything was going haywire in our world. And this popped up, and I can't read it because but anyway, this popped up, and it was a beautiful sunrise coming in, and you can read it, but I can't read it because I have the wrong readers. But anyway, it was a beautiful sunrise coming into the door, right when in the window, right when I opened my eyes. There was all this negativity outside of my window, so to speak, in the world, and outside of our windows. But I saw that beautiful sunrise, and I put that picture on Facebook to give hope and inspiration to people that every day is a new day. And there was something powerful in there. I can't remember what it was, and I can't read it, but that was, I wanted to share that with all of you before I left. Okay, Mwah. I'll see you all later. Going to get my pudding. Bye, y'all.